Episode 27 is finally here. Welcome to another episode of The Slam. Happy New Year's. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is brought to you by Rode Microphones. Let's get started into today's video. Alright, so here's the deal, guys. As you guys know, pro wrestling has been very big in 2017. In fact, there's been so many reports that honestly, a lot of people have been very critical of certain booking and certain situations in the WWE. And that's basically because, well, as the internet continues to evolve, fans have become smarter. You have guys like Dave Meltzer who have completely opened up the world of pro wrestling to the internet. And of course, there's other guys. And then, of course, you have YouTubers and stuff like that. But a lot of information has been coming out recently, and I don't know if you guys noticed this. This is something I've actually noticed, but Sting has been posting a lot of photos of him back in the ring, and it's caused a lot of speculation online that Sting may be coming out of retirement for at least one final match at WrestleMania 34. What's really interesting about this, though, is a lot of reports have started to come out. Dave Meltzer has kind of chimed in. Certain reporters have come out. And I'm going to revert back to what Meltzer had said, which was Sting will not return for one final match with WWE, as WWE will not medically clear him, and yada, yada, yada. Now, on the other hand, there's other organizations, other companies, or dirt sheets or whatever that have reported there is a reason for why Sting is posting these cryptic tweets, and the idea may be that Sting is set for one final match. Based on his injury, yes, it was bad, but it's nothing that would prevent him, I guess, from one match. Who knows? Now, the idea of the Slam, we're kind of going back to basics here, but it's always been about sharing opinions on some of the news that has come out, and normally I would have a co-host and I would kind of gauge their interest and see what they say, but today I'm doing things a little bit different. I'm keeping things solo. And honestly, I have a lot to say on this matter. So some of the reports have come out that Sting is not cleared for one more match. WWE, I'm sure, takes health obviously into a very serious concern for them. I'm sure it's something that they really care about, obviously. But with a lot of these reports, people are also forgetting that Sting has been doing interviews at gaming conventions and wrestling conventions and stuff like that. And he's come out and said, he still wants one more match. And I know Meltzer had come out and said, no, he's not cleared. He won't get cleared. But obviously it does get to a certain point where, if they want to make it happen, they could make it happen. Nobody really knows the severity of Sting's injury that he sustained from Seth Rollins. Obviously, they said it was his retirement, but he didn't really get a proper send-off. And I think this is where things get a little bit more trickier. And the reason why I say that is because Sting has the opportunity to return to WWE for one final match, but what matches make the most sense? Now, recently, in interviews and reports that have come out, Sting has been kind of talking about how he wants his final match to be with The Undertaker. And I get it. I understand that a lot of people would love to see this match, but I'm also not sure if this is the direction WWE should go. Now, contrary to what I just said, yes, there have been reports about Undertaker being penciled in for Sting at WrestleMania 34. And I'm going to take these reports with a little bit of grain, and it's going to be a little grain of salt, because the idea that Undertaker will return against Sting, it just doesn't make sense. And honestly, with the age of both guys, I feel a little more comfortable with John Cena being able to carry Undertaker in a match. Now, we're not going to know anything till it's set in stone, but realistically, we're expecting it to be set in stone at the 25th anniversary of Raw later on in January. Now, for me, I'm going to WrestleMania. So, of course, I've never seen Sting live. I've never seen Undertaker live, which is actually really odd considering the amount of shows I've gone to. But this match should have happened like 5-6 years ago. And both of these guys are up there in age. They're a little bit more injury prone. I'm not sure if this is the right match for them. Is it the fantasy match that everybody wants to see? Yes. But there's also a lot of storytelling that could be done from WWE, and most importantly, from three guys specifically, Vince, Sting, and Taker. I think those three guys can do an entire documentary on the match that never happened, right? But nonetheless, reports have kind of come out saying that Sting and Taker might be penciled in for WrestleMania 34, and that would be Undertaker's last match, which for me personally, you can never have WCW go over WWE in this situation, so Undertaker would have to beat Sting, but I think that's pretty well known. I think a lot of people would agree with that. I know I've talked about it before with a couple other people on the YouTube world and the internet world, and everybody kind of agrees with that sentiment that, you know, if Sting were to beat Undertaker, it just proves that WCW created a star larger than WWE. I don't know. It's just this huge mess. But nonetheless, if Undertaker is versing Sting at WrestleMania, you know, I'm going to be really happy that I get to witness that. If that's not the match that they go with, there have been a couple options that have really intrigued me. And one that I thought that was really interesting, I read this one on Twitter. So like I said, I don't know the validity of this report, but this is just something that I came across online. But it was the idea that Sting would go head-to-head with Goldberg. And for WCW, you know, being no longer around, this wouldn't be a bad idea. You know, obviously Goldberg had a pretty good run when he came back to WWE. I think him winning the Universal belt, I think all those things, when you put into consideration, I think he did his job and he did it well. Does Goldberg and Sting really make sense in 2018? Not really sure. But am I opposed to it? No. I'm the kind of fan that just takes what's out there and I try to make the best out of it. And if it sucks, it sucks, and I will say that it sucks, but I try to make it positive. So on paper, does it suck? Absolutely. There is no doubt about it. But if they were to put Undertaker and Goldberg in a match, would it have the same pop as Goldberg and Sting? I personally don't think so. Especially with reports that John Cena may be facing Undertaker at WrestleMania. Goldberg and Sting, it just sounds crazy. I don't know how it fits in 2018, but it wouldn't be the worst thing that WWE has ever done. Now, of course, they have to make some sense out of it, which storyline-wise, if I tried to fantasy book this, there's nothing I could come up with. I'm just being honest. There's nothing I can necessarily come out with. And that's kind of where my issue stems from with Sting returning for WrestleMania 34. A lot of people say WrestleMania 34 can always have Sting versus Seth Rollins and kind of finish that off. There's no reason for that. So I would just have to say let that feud or let that story be dead and let it stay where it is, which is nowhere for a good reason. But you know, that's the important thing when you look at WWE and you see that WrestleMania 34 could be very, very big, and of course it's in New Orleans again, so you know it's going to be a very special WrestleMania. Me personally, knowing that I'm going to be there, I really, really just want to see stuff that I never got to witness in the 23 years that I've been alive. So, with that being said, it's going to be really interesting. Is Sting going head-to-head with Undertaker? And what do you guys think of that? Is that an actual match that you guys want to see? And just be honest, because I know a lot of people, they love Undertaker, they love Sting individually, but I think it's safe to say they're not going to get the same match rating that Kenny Omega and, you know, look, I'm not even going to bring that up. I'm not going to bring up match ratings. I was going to, but then I realized it really doesn't matter. So, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And of course, if you guys aren't following me on Twitter at Tango with Tango, you absolutely should do that. Also, brand new, I just introduced a new Instagram account for the Slam. Now, everybody knows my personal Twitter. I use that as my personal Twitter. Now, I really want to create an Instagram for the fans. of pro wrestling. And of course, if you guys didn't know, we launched a Facebook group. So me and Tony have a new Facebook group for the Slam. We live discuss everything that's happening in pro wrestling. Then of course on this Instagram at the Slam PW, I'll put the links in the description. You guys can follow the account. A lot of cool photos and things like that. A lot of cool stories as well. So that's exactly where you want to go. Now, as you guys know, the Slam is kicking off some brand new ideas and adding some new elements to the show. So I want you guys to be a part of it. If you guys want to be a part of the Slam, let me know. Just leave a comment down below, and I will be happy to pick a few extra guests for future episodes. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching episode 27 of the Slam. I am your host, Tango. Follow me on Twitter at Tango with Tango, and I will catch you guys on the next episode.